Hello and welcome to another video, which isn't a reaction video, so unfortunately that means no one's going to watch it. But that doesn't matter. Today I wanted to bring you something a little bit different, and I wanted to discuss my 5 favourite YouTube drum educational teaching channels on YouTube. I will leave all of these channels linked in the description, so if you're very lazy and you don't want to support the channel and you don't want to stay and actually watch the video, then you can just cheat and check the description and they'll all be listed there, as long as some other videos that I maybe discuss along the way and decide to link. And a quick disclaimer, if I don't mention your personal favourite drum educator, then that doesn't mean I don't like them. There's no one that I dislike on YouTube. It just means that I have 5 channels that I prefer, but that's fine. And on that note, let me know in the comments who your favourite drum educators are on YouTube. If you share any favourites from my top 5, then great, but if not, if you know of any others, then definitely let me know in the comments, and if I don't know them already, then I'll check them out. Without further ado, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Don't know why I did that. Well, it's right there, it's somewhere there, click there. Go and check out all of the content creators that I've listed in the description, and yeah, hope you enjoy. I will try and order these from providing easy beginner concepts through to providing harder concepts. So it's not a top 5 in the sense of these are my favorites. That's how I'm going to order it. I hope that makes sense. But having said that, at number 5, because they cover the broadest spectrum by far, I'm going to put Drumeo. I will be amazed if you are only hearing of Drumeo for the first time through me, because they have like 1 million subscribers. But Drumeo have lessons on everything from how to pick up drumsticks through to really advanced concepts like playing polyrhythms over like a 5/7 beat or something. They've got anything and everything you can think of in between my first drum fill to whatever it may be, like difficult concept 101. They probably have a video on it. My personal favourite feature on Drumeo is something that they've unfortunately not been able to do for a while now, which is have professional drummers come into the studio and give hour to hour and a half long lessons on things such as their favourite concepts, their favourite techniques, their favourite rudiments, or how to write songs, or warm-up techniques, whatever it may be. They have pretty much every professional drummer you can think of has come in and done a video on some kind of topic. So my favourite 3, if I had to put myself on the spot for absolutely no reason, would probably be Greb, just because he is an absolute master, Garstka, because he's phenomenal and I love animals as leaders, and I really enjoyed Hoglan's lesson as well. Gene's not really a drummer that I've gone into that much, because I quite like Strapping Young Lad, but Testament and his other bands are bands that I'm not really that into. However, Gene's lesson is great because he seems like the most likable person on the planet, and the concepts he talks about in terms of the way that you can improve your stamina and your muscles is actually very interesting and something that I'd not really considered before. So those are my top 3, and I will leave them linked in the description. But back to the topic in hand, drum channels and drum educators that I absolutely adore. At the number 4 spot, providing fairly difficult concept, but at a slightly more accessible pace, I would say, is Mike Johnston. Mike Johnston is arguably the king of online drum lessons. He was pretty much the first guy to realise that, hey, YouTube can be used as a great educational tool, and he coupled that with his website, mikeslessons.com, and he's just, like I just said about Hoglan, Mike is an incredibly likeable guy, and not only that, he is a kick-ass drummer. He is such a good drummer that he doesn't really deserve to just be known as an educator. He should be known as like one of the greats of his time, because the stuff that Mike can do is downright mind-blowing sometimes. He provides really informative lessons. He can give, or he does provide transcripts for those of you who read music, well-lit videos, unlike mine most of the time, very well-produced videos, unlike mine most of the time, and yeah, he's just all-round a really nice guy. He provides great content, really well-thought-out content. He's encouraging as well, so if you play along with him, which he tells you to do, and I'm sure 99% of the viewers don't actually do it, but yeah, he's encouraging throughout the lessons. He's very much a you can do this rather than here's what I can do, haha kind of guy, which is just so likable and adds to his likability. Yeah, just a nice guy, incredible drummer, provides really well detailed, thought out lessons, and if somehow you've not heard of Mike, then absolutely click that link in the description. At number 3, a drummer whose name you might have heard of, and you're probably going to think why. Juan Carlito Mendoza. He won the Guitar Center Drum Off Championship in, I want to say 2011, with a solo that is just absolutely incredible. It's probably, I think it is the most watched Guitar Center Drum Off solo video because it is so incredible. Juan is a fantastic musician. I believe he teaches for a living at a school, which is very cool. So if you're one of his students, then I'm extremely jealous. But he's just a fantastic drummer. He explores these really kind of groovy and for me personally, really different concepts. So I think Juan's playing, you could argue, is more rooted in like Latin and soul and funk drumming, which is stuff that I very rarely touch just because of my musical tastes. But it is great to diversify, and it's great to learn from different sources and different styles of players and different styles of music. And Juan, for me, is someone that I always turn to when I think I want to hear something totally out of the box that I've never heard before and that I've never even thought to do. He's my go-to guy. He's fantastic at breaking down not only why we should play rudiments, but how to apply them musically around the drum set. He's great at talking about subdivisions and tempo changes and the way that we can use both to create more musical sounds, again, musically applied. One thing that I really like about Juan, and I've just kind of mentioned it, is the way that he doesn't just talk about how to play these things and how to do these things and you know, how to train yourself to play X rudiment, but he teaches you how to apply it when you're playing songs. And I think that's something that gets kind of overlooked with drumming is ultimately we're playing a song, right? Even a solo is going to be a song to a certain extent, and applying certain things musically is sometimes a lot harder to do than just being able to do it. So personally, I love 6-stroke rolls to the point where I completely abuse them and I throw them in places when they should not be used. And Juan is a great educator in the sense that he will teach you to not do that. He will say, this is when you should and shouldn't use the rudiment or this subdivision or this style, whatever it may be. And that is a great way of learning how to play music and not just how to play drums. It was fairly difficult to separate my last 2 picks because they both provide extremely well detailed and extremely well produced videos and lessons on very advanced concepts. The 2 drummers or the 2 channels that I will be talking about, I'm going to just mention them both now because I hold them kind of in the same regard. One is Austin Burcham, who I've mentioned a couple of times on the channel, including recently when I checked out Virgil Donati. And the other channel that I want to throw out there is The Art of Drumming, who is a guy called Wei Lung. Wei is an educator similar to Mike in the sense, and Juan actually, in the sense that he teaches drums, I'm pretty sure, for a living. And it's obvious why. The guy is an absolute monster behind the kit. He can break down playing by Matt Garstka and Forrest Rice of the band Covet, who he's done a couple of episodes on recently. He's done instructional videos on how to play tunes by Matt Halpin of Periphery, of how to do Annika Niles stuff because she's just an absolute monster as well. You can kind of see where I'm going with this, and clearly I've decided to talk about Waze channel now, The Art of Drumming. So I guess he takes number 2 spot, even though it's irrelevant. He breaks down these really high-end concepts from your favourite bands, so Periphery, Covet, Animals as leaders, and he shows you how these incredible musicians are playing the parts in their songs. He literally shows you how to do it because he's that good. He can play these things. And he provides really great detailed transcripts, which he breaks down into like bite-sized, easy chunks, and then gradually builds up and layers them to the point where you know how the full song or the full section of the song is being played. His channel has actually only got a few thousand subscribers more than me, which is just ludicrous because his content is far better. It's far more well produced. He's a better drummer than me. He's a better educator than me. He just deserves far more subscribers than he has. So definitely check out Waze channel. It's linked in the description. And again, it's called The Art of Drumming. If you want to know how your favorite drummers from your favorite bands are doing the stuff that they're doing, then Way is your guide. The Art of Drumming. Check it out. And as mentioned, Austin Bertram is going to take my number 1 spot, I guess. Deservedly so. He's a phenomenal drummer. So Austin is primarily known for it's how I found him anyway, and how I'm sure 99% of his subscribers found him, through his Study the Greats series. Austin struck gold with this series, like literal gold. And then it happened to be an idea birthed by a man who is not only a phenomenal drummer, like an incredible drummer, but brilliant at just producing videos. Like he's almost like half drummer, half filmmaker. His video content is that well produced and that well made that it's like he's two incredibly talented people rolled into one, and I kind of hate him for that. I'm just kidding. I don't hate him at all. It's impossible to hate him. He, like everyone in this list, he's just the most likable person. I feel like everyone I've mentioned so far has just been so likable, and I think that's key with producing content and producing educational videos is you've got to be a nice person. If you just sit there and you tell people very much this is what to do, this is how to do it, off you go, then it's not going to come across very well, is it? So for those of you who are unaware of Austin's channel and what Study the Greats is, it's kind of as it sounds. Austin breaks down key parts from solos or performances, songs, whatever it may be, from the greatest drummers to have ever lived. Virgil Donati, recently I did an episode on not only Virgil, but Austin's done Study the Greats episodes on Peter Erskine, Steve Gadd, Dave Weckl, Vinny Colaiuta. You name it, the chances are Austin's probably, you name them, the chances are probably Austin has done an episode of Study the Greats on them. So similar to what I just said about the art of drumming, Austin provides really detailed transcripts in his videos as well. And he actually usually transcribes the things that he's covering himself, which again is just another incredible piece of knowledge and a skill to have. He puts the transcriptions on screen and then also physically plays the parts himself. He breaks them down into, again, chunks and then builds it back up into a full performance, very similar to what the art of drumming does, but just in a different sense of Waze channel very much focuses on like progressive metal and drummers such as Matt Garstka and blah, 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 whereas Austin covers kind of a more wide variety of players. You could argue that he focuses mainly on fusion, but I think that's just because so many of the great drummers of the modern age are labelled as fusion drummers. I don't think that's really a reflection on Austin. I think that's more just a reflection on that word being completely overused. But anyway, ranting aside, Austin provides great transcriptions. He can actually play the stuff as well, which is just mind-blowing to me. Not only can he sit there and be like, this is what's going on, he can then go to his kit and just straight up do it. And then shows us how he's doing it on fantastically produced, very well edited, just very well made videos. He's an extremely humble, extremely likable guy. Again, overusing that word in this video. But yeah, in my opinion, he's pretty much the most underrated but kind of well-known-ish drum educator and just drum-related channel on YouTube. I find it crazy that his videos, or some of his videos, have, you know, upwards of 500,000, 1 million views, whatever, and everyone watching that video didn't then click subscribe. I find that crazy because the videos are so well made. How can you watch that and be like, no, I'm not going to watch any more of these? I don't know. Does not compute in my head, but each to their own. Anyway, that's going to be my list. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, then leave a like on the video and definitely definitely check out all of the content creators that I've linked in the description, because they're all fantastic for the reasons I just spoke about for, 10 minutes or so. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave in the comments who your favourite drum educators and teachers are. I'll be very interested to know, and it's always good to expand our horizons and check out different educators from different styles of music, different parts of the world, because everyone has different ethoses and different approaches to drumming, and the more that we can absorb as educators, as students. Yes, I know I put in my titles drum teacher, and yes, I am a drum teacher, but we are all still learning. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you're all safe and well. Leave your comments, and don't know where that came from, but yeah, leave your comments about whatever you want. How's your day been? Hope you're all safe and well. Jesus, I am the worst YouTuber on the planet. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.